Hello, it's me, and fresh from the unboxing of this circle Pyraminx, I figured I'd go through an attempted solve at this. So once again, this is a circle version, which means all the centers are stationary. So that lends to a little bit extra bit of a challenge of a Pyraminx. Pyraminxes are generally simple puzzles, but let's see what this does. Now, in terms of my strategy when approaching this, I kind of figured it was probably a lot like this guy here, which is the circle tetrahedron. And admittedly, when I first bought the circle tetrahedron, it was only because it was the closest thing to a circle Pyraminx that I could get. It's not exactly like it, but I figured it was similar. So I figured it's probably a similar kind of a strategy, as the pieces look to be about the same. You can negate these are more trivial tips over here, but if I were to look across here, this and this would correlate, this would correlate, these edges here, these inner edges would correlate, as with this and this and this. The only thing that's different is that there's no center here, and maybe that'll cause some issues with parity. I don't know, but when I attempted to look to see my tutorial on this, I couldn't find one. So I thought, well, I couldn't find a tutorial on the circle tetrahedron, so why don't I just go through both? It's really the same kind of a solve, I think. So this is the standard version. There's also planetary versions where some centers are fixed and some actually move. That'll increase the challenge. To be honest with you, although I have all of those, I've taken to more just trying to get the standard version because I'm more interested in just how it looks in the collection. If I buy 5 different puzzles that all look the same, it's a little confusing to be demonstrating something like that. That was interesting. A little resonance there. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and scramble it up. And well, I won't go through the algorithms. I'll do it as I solve it. So I'm going to just scramble this one first. You've seen this, I think, before, just not from me, because I didn't have a tutorial on it. I didn't even realize it. You can see it scrambles pretty fast because there's only a few kind of moves on this puzzle. So it doesn't take a lot before you get yourself nice and lost. So I think we're pretty good there. So we've got some pretty good scramble going on here. Maybe we can do it a little better. Maybe we can't. There we go. Move this here. Okay. And move that there. That's pretty good. So let's check this motion out here. The movement is the same. First thing I'm going to do is scramble the trivial tips because why not? And now let's go ahead and move this. The movement is really, really good. Yeah, not bad. Sometimes the circle parts get a little off track, and when that happens, it becomes a little snaggy, and I have to force it just a little bit, but otherwise you can see how smooth this is. And to any collector of your pure-looking platonic solids, this is a good one. It's affordable, and I'll have a link in the description if I get around to it as to where you can pick it up. So as you can see, we can scramble it pretty well. Now, I still maintain that this is a 2-layer puzzle because there's only 2 layers. I don't really count this. Yep. Okay, hold on. I gotta ask you a quick question. Okay. Emergency. Well, not really, but... Hold on 1 second, okay? Please? Hold on 1 second. Right. I'm gonna pause in a second. Alright, so too, this scrambles pretty quickly. And then we'll see the similarities, differences, or if they're really exactly the same. Let's keep going with this. I think we can do a little bit more of a scramble here. Okay, not too bad. Not bad. Okay, so there it is. Both of them scrambled, and let's see how they work. Now, the first thing to point out, I guess, when embarking on the solve is when you have a circle puzzle, because of how fixed these centers are, I look to see what pieces are attached to what pieces. So in other words, if there's a piece that's attached to these edges, then I don't have to worry about them, because just solving the edges will solve whatever piece is attached. So in this case, it's going to be this piece, because notice this center here, this sort of outer center, I guess, and this edge always move with each other. So if I say move this, this doesn't move, this doesn't move. If I move it like this, this moves and this moves. If I move it here, this moves and this moves. Which means these pieces here, I don't even worry about. I just worry about solving these. And I think I can look at the same thing. If that's correct, and this is a very similar puzzle, this edge is attached to this, whoops, center. So we can test that out. All right, so far they're moving with each other. This is moving with this, so yeah. And, well, what other movements are there? Yeah, so no matter what I do, this is always attached to this. How about this piece here? Well, there's this. Well, and then there's this over here. So I'm wondering, this is attached to here, and I guess it's also attached to this. So I'm going to sort of think of this edge and this, these pieces are kind of attached to each other. These, oh no, well maybe, that's still moving here. Oh no, this piece can move away from here. Okay, so far that's similar. The way that I do this is, because these centers don't move, this piece, and this piece all along this line are always in the same configuration. This can never be pulled away from here. So you can almost say that this piece and this piece are attached. So all these centers are really one piece. No matter what I do, I can't move them away from each other. So this is all the same. So this edge is attached to this center, and all these centers along this plane are also attached. So when you think of it like that, it's really a pretty simple, straightforward solve. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of these central edges here, match them with the center, and match them with each other, and it's just a matter of turning them. They're almost like Pyraminx turns like this. They're almost trivial in their association with each other. So let's go ahead and move this until another blue comes in, and then move this until this blue comes in, because they never scramble with each other. Then you're going to find that these are all in, and I just have to move this so that it matches up with the yellow on the bottom. Boom. So now, without having any real complications, these are all matched up with the centers. The next part is we're going to match these edges up. And this is going to be with a tetrahedral version of the Sunni, kind of a variation of that. Now, as you recall, the Sunni is RU, RU, R2, URI, and it was a way of moving the edges of a 3x3 on the last layer. So these edges here are U, Ri, U, R2, Ri. So in so doing, this stayed the same, but these edges are moving around. It caused some issues here, but we don't worry about those. We'll just get this back. U, R2, Ri, U, Ri, U, R2, Ri. These are all back, but these centers have been taken out. The thing about algorithms is if you do them enough times, it'll get you right back to the start again. See? No worries, no messy cleanup. Okay, so instead of doing RU, RIU, R2, URI, we're just going to do RU, RIU, RU, RI. That's it. RU, RIU, RU, RI. And my R is going to be this here, and my U is going to be this here. The anti-tetrahedral Sunni is going to be Li, Ui, L, Ui, Li, Ui, L, or something like that. It's the opposite of this over here. Now what that's going to do is, you see this piece over here, if I do the Sunni version, where I'm going to be doing my U clockwise, this whole thing, this is going to rotate to here, this is going to rotate to here, and this is going to rotate to here. So that's what I'm going to try to do. So by doing it, this will rotate to here. Now this is going to rotate to here, and I don't know if I want to move this away from here, but that will be okay. And alternatively, if I look at this may give me more bang for my buck, because this will rotate here, which we want. This will rotate here, which is not exactly what we want, but and this will also rotate. Well, no matter where I go, I'm going to mess something up. Okay, we'll just do this one. So this will end up over here. Just look at the white one will end up here. And the way this is going to work is we're going to go R, U, R, I, U, R, U, R, I. And as promised, this came over to here. This is also over here, which is good. And now we just have this one to go. So if I were to focus on how to get this one in, This is the orange and blue. So now I have to do some positioning and repositioning. If I move this up here, this can move to here, but I'm going to knock this out. So because I don't want to knock that out, I'll just move another dummy one in its place. Boom. I just have to remember, when I get it back, I got to move this down and this down. The thing about deconstruction is you can always put it back. So I'll move this one up and this one here, and I want this to rotate in a counterclockwise rotation here. So same algorithm. This will move to here. So it's going to be R, U, R, I, U, R, U, R, I. And indeed this came to here, so remember, we move this back and we move this back, so you can see all these are in. Now once you do that, you're going to have potentially just 3 left over that you have to move into place. And that's going to be this one, and this one. And there's a couple of possible configurations, but you're going to basically want to match these up and put them on the same level. 2 of these are already on the same level, or you can hold it here and these 2 are on the same level. But I notice with this just needs to wheel over to here, which means this is going to wheel over to here, and I want to put this guy and put him up here. So this is going to want to come to here so that these 3 can be on the same level. So I'm going to turn this like so. I'm going to take this, well, let's see. If this goes to here, I'd like this yellow one to be on top. Yeah, so if I move this here, this yellow is not going to be on top. Okay, so let's kind of plan this out. If I want this to move here, I'd like this yellow to be on top. So I'm going to move this over to here. Then I'm going to move this up. I'm just going to remember to move this back down. What will happen is this will slide to here. This yellow, or orange rather, will be here, and this blue will be here, blue and white. And that should do it. So I want this to move in a clockwise way. Now I could do the Sunni, but I'd have to do it twice. Let's do the anti-Sunni to make it move, because anti-Sunni will do a UI. And this will then move in a clockwise way, if I want this to move clockwise. Counterclockwise, I'll do the Sunni. Anti-Sunni, tetrahedral Sunni will be clockwise. Whereas Sunni is going to be counterclockwise. So that's going to be Li, Ui, L, Ui, Li, Ui, L. Now you can see all these have been reduced. I have to remember what I did. And it's going to be fairly easy to see because you just put them where they're supposed to be. This came down over to here, and now this came over to here. So now you can see all of these are reduced just by that technique. Now it's a matter of getting these corners. Now here's the algorithm with a corner. I'm going to be doing down, down, and then up, up. And I'm going to do that 3 times. When I do that 3 times, these 2 will flip, and these 2 will flip. And the way that the configuration is going to be is whatever this color here is going to be here. Whatever this color is going to be here. You can see this piece doesn't belong. So I need the yellow, blue, and white. And that's not this one. That's going to be, say, I want the orange, blue, and white. Orange, blue, and white. So orange, blue, and white is going to be here. So if I hold this here, this blue has to move to here to match up with this. So I'm simply going to turn this in that position, then holding it over here with this on the top, we're going to go down, down, up, up. That's 1. Down, down, up, up. That's 2. And down, down, up, up. That's 3. That puts this in. And then we're going to just move this back. Now I want you to notice something else too. I didn't mention this, but notice when I solve these edges, these centers got magically solved as well because they're attached to these edges. Now what you're going to find is a situation, you just do that until you have 2 in. They're all either going to be solved or you're going to have 2 in and 2 out. Now when I flip-flop these are going to flip. When I flip them again, they're going to flip back. So there's no parity with this puzzle. They're in, and these are in also, but they're rotated wrong. So what I'm going to do is pop these out, get them rotated in the right configuration, and then pop them back in. And that way this will just pop out and again, and it'll be solved. So let's just pop this out because it's rotated wrong anyway. So 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3. Okay, now don't panic. These two will easily pop back in. But what does it take? What does it take to move this back into here? Well, this blue has to be facing here, which is going to put the yellow to here, which is great because this yellow is facing here. So it's a very simple puzzle. I'm going to move this here once you get the trick. And now go ahead and rotate these back, or flip-flop these two. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, and then we simply turn this back, whoop, back, and it's done. So to those who needed a tutorial on the crazy tetrahedral standard, the circle tetrahedron, well, there you have it. Now the question is, how do I translate it to this? Is it the same or is it a little bit different because we don't have a center? Center didn't do too much with the solve. It didn't do any scrambling. So the first thing is let's move these trivial tips where we want them. Okay, so that's good. So now what we're going to do is the first thing is these pieces here are equivalent to these pieces, and along this plane these do not scramble with each other. So let's just put these in. I have a blue here. Where's the other blue? I'm just going to keep moving this until a blue comes in. Interestingly, I don't see a blue. So this is a little bit different perhaps. Here's a blue over here. And now they should match up pretty well. So I'm going to move this into here. Like, well, like so. Okay, so this is in, this is in. Now what's neat about this, and what I like about this, is all the pieces are shaped the same. Here they're shaped different, but they're all the same. So I like the symmetry of it. I really like that. So this is in, I've got to get this in. And that's going to be, where's it coming from? So it's not quite as obvious. That's going to come from here. Okay, so this has to make its way to here. So I need to put this in a position where they all can be acceptable. So this will come here, and this will come to here. Okay, now that I have this, the rest should follow suit. Oh, this looks like the carbon copy of this. These are the edges, and these are different areas. So I like the symmetry because it looks like they're the same pieces, but they're really not. In any case, these two are the edges that we're looking at, not these guys. So I just wind this where the other yellow one is. Okay, so that took a little bit more positioning, but these are in and these are in. Okay, so the next step then is to, so this looks a little bit more, I guess, confusing just in the fact of the symmetry, which is neat. But I'm going to put these in with the same technique. So let's go ahead and do that. And I'm not going to worry about these guys. Rather, because they're attached to these corners, edges rather, or so I think. So let's see what I can move in. This can go to here. So it's going to be a counterclockwise rotation. So it's going to be R, U, R, I, U, R, U, R, I. So you can see this matches up very nicely. All right, here's a green and red. So I want to move, well, before I do that, here's a blue. And this blue wants to go with this red over here. So this is a clockwise rotation. So I'm going to do the anti-SUNY, which is going to move my U in a counterclockwise way. So it's like opposite. L-I, U-I, L, U-I, L-I, U-I, L. All right, that popped this one in here. So, all right, now interestingly enough, it did move this green up to here. Green and red wants to come over to here. And at the same time, actually, this red and orange wants to come over to here. So I can do that. but why don't I have to move this one out of the way? So I'm going to move this down over here. Let's move this in a clockwise way with the anti-SUNY again. Li, Ui, L, Ui, Li, Ui, L. So that's in here, a little bit snaggy, but that's okay. Okay, so I've got this in and this in. Here's my, and now I'm going to move the green one because this green, once it hits here, I'll have all these reds. And I don't want to sacrifice this, so I'll move this in play. I'll just move this up to here like, boom. So now I want this to go counterclockwise. So this is going to be the SUNY, R, U, R-I, U, R, U, oops, R-I. Okay, now having done that, I have to remember what I did. It appears I gotta go like this. Okay, so all of these red edges are in, and now I see what I've got. I should just have, I should have 3 more to go. Now this is interesting. I have 2. I've got the yellow and blue, and this is in but it's upside down, and this is in but it's upside down. All the rest of the edges are in, and in. So is this a parity? Well, I don't think so because there's no parity. There's no reduction in this. It's just a placement issue. So I need 3 to be out in order to make this work. So what I'm going to do is, luckily they're on the same level, I'm simply going to do a SUNY to get all these 3 out. Even though this is in, I got to get it out so that I can coordinate it with bringing these guys in. So we're going to go just a random R, U, R-I, U, R, U, R-I. Okay, so now all that has to happen is this needs to come to here, but these are kind of upside down. So I guess my suggestion for myself now is let's do a different layer. Let's move this to here, and I can take these both and move them up to here so that, well, yeah, because I want this to move whole cloth to another blue. So if I hold this here, I just have to remember that this needs to go where this is. So when I move this up to here, if I can, when I move this up to here, this has to wheel into here. That's where this has to go, into here. Well, no, then it'll be upside down. So I don't want to do that. Well, it's probably best if I hold it like this, which puts this in an upside down position. So this needs to wheel with this. So if I move this up to here, no, that's not going to work. Well, let's try this then. This has to come to here, wherever this is going to be. So let's hold this to here, and let's see how I can make this work. Well, I think this needs to come to here, so why don't we move this to here? This will have to wrap into here. And now this will come up to here. That will make sense. Because this goes to here, this yellow will come to here, and this blue will come to here. I just have to remember what I did. Once I move this back down, the rest should be able to follow suit pretty well. Oh, this doesn't really want to move. There we go. Okay. So, yeah, this will come up to here, and then this will come down to here. Okay, So this has to move in a counterclockwise way. So we're going to do the Sunni. R, U, R, I, U, R, U, R, I, and that should do it. And you can see these are all reduced. Now I just have to remember what I did to bring it back. And as I recall, I think this one up here and this one over here, it's easy to find because now all these circles are in. They're all in because once I get these edges in, then the circles are in. Now these guys, well, they're easy. It's just holding it like this and flipping it the way that it's supposed to be. So this is going to be red, orange, and blue, which is here. I have to get the yellow rather, in this direction. So I'm just going to move this over here, splat. Now we're going to go 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, and finally 3, 3, 3, 3. And this moves back here. Okay, so this guy is in, and this guy is in. But these aren't, because they're rotated, but we know how to deal with that. Flip these, rotate it right, and flip them back, and these will go back and in. So 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, little snaggy here, 3, and 3. And don't panic because now I just have to get the blue facing here, and this yellow will match with this. So match made in heaven. We're simply going to move this down. And although it doesn't look like it's about to be solved, I think it is, unless there's some strange parity going on. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2. I think I can lubricate it, might work better that way. And finally, 3, 3, 3, and 3. That's in. So this simply gets turned and done. So there it is. I think the first solve of a true circle Pyraminx. And this is the circle Pyraminx that I always wanted, that I had to use this instead. It's really exactly the same solve, and it's pretty much exactly the same puzzle. Much like a Jinx Pyraminx, except it has this extra center, which is almost not needed, just like it has these trivial tips. But I believe this to be a better version. It's actually my favorite version of a circle Pyraminx as opposed to just the circle tetrahedron. And the reason is because of the symmetry. It has the shape and the look of the simplest of platonic solids, which is the tetrahedron, the first order platonic solid, so to speak. It's got the nice shape that I like. And in terms of the pieces, there's equivalency of the look of the pieces. They all have the same symmetric look, whereas this, they all look very different, and they look like they're sort of kind of thrown in there in the best way that they can, like the ultimate of Olsings, so to speak. But this one is symmetric. This one is very well designed. The movement is very good. A little snaggy with the tracking of the circle, but I think a little lubrication to allow it to move better will cause that to move a little better. I think the solve is just a little bit more challenging, just because of the perspective of these centers. Scramble the brain just a little bit, but in my mind, this is the circle Pyraminx that I was waiting for, and finally the one that I got. So, as always, it's worth getting this if that's what you want as part of your circle platonic solid puzzles. And thanks for watching.